So today we got some very cool reveals from New York Toy Fair and Hasbro for the Star Wars toy line. Clone Wars merchandise, Mando merchandise, anything and everything Baby Yoda merchandise was on display at the New York Toy Fair here today, guys. Vehicles and much more, and we're going to get a look at all of this here today, guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start things off with the 40th anniversary Black Series Empire Strike Back figures on card backs, starting with our Luke Skywalker Snow Speeder pilot figure with an excellent card back featuring the Snow Speeder in flight and Luke in his pilot gear. The figure comes with his saber as the only accessory. So this is a very cool reveal that some may mistake as a repack of the Luke X-Wing pilot. However, there are some subtle differences such as the belt, gloves, and snow boots on the figure. The face sculpt also seems to be updated as well. Then there is the obvious cap underneath the helmet. Very cool. As a companion piece, we have the Black Series 6-inch Snow Speeder with Dak Raptor figure. From the photos, the speeder seems to have some weathering and decals, off-white and gray paint apps. Your Dak figure comes with removable helmet as his only accessory, removable panels revealing electronic and engine detail with weathering, functioning flaps, as well as an opening canopy and tow cable to boot. So a really cool vehicle from the Black Series line in the 6-inch scale, guys. An excellent companion piece to go with your Luke Skywalker speeder pilot. Next up is the Imperial probe droid on Hoth 6-inch scale. Comes in this very cool box. He also comes complete with stand and functioning arms and joints, weathering and detail. This bad boy has already started showing up at online retailers. I've been trying to hunt him down, and I hope to have him in my collection very soon. Next is our Rebel Soldier Hoth with an excellent card back with the Hoth backdrop and Empire Strikes Back logo on the card back. The photos show a bearded face figure with mouth guard, which is really interesting, because the next set of photos gives us a clean shaven figure minus the mouth guard. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a variant figure with two different head sculpts, but if it is, I love it and will be army building these guys for sure. Next up is our AT-AT driver with the card back depicting the driver and the Empire Strikes Back logo. Now, yes, he is a repack figure, but for the most part, as a collector, I'm picking him up for the card back alone. But still in all, he is a very cool figure with excellent detail, comes complete with his weapon. Very awesome and very cool figure here, guys. Now for our 40th anniversary Dagobah figures, we have R2-D2 with the card back depicting a muddy R2 who was just spit out by the swamp monster. The figure has lots of muddy and grimy weathering and detail with a functioning scope. A really cool figure, very awesome. Cannot wait to get this particular figure in my collection as part of the 40th anniversary collection, guys. Really cool. Next up is our Yoda on Dagobah figure with the card back depicting Yoda on Dagobah sitting on his log with his cane. Yes, this is a repack figure, but again, it's all about getting it on the card back. The figure comes with his cane, lightsaber, and signature snake around his neck. Very cool and very, very awesome figure, guys. Next is our Princess Leia Hoth or Falcon figure with the card back depicting the princess on the Falcon with the Empire Strikes Back logo. Again, this is a repack. In fact, this is the third release if you count the Leia and Han Hoth exclusive released last year. The figure comes with weapon, goggles, and working tool. Very cool figure. Next is our Han Solo Desmond figure with the card back depicting Han leaning on the wall of the Falcon. The figure comes with his signature pistol and smirk. Another repack figure, but again, with these, it is all about getting them on the card. Very cool and very awesome figure. Next is our Imperial TIE Fighter pilot with the card back depicting the Falcon being chased by a couple of TIEs. Very cool looking card back here, guys. The figure comes with a weapon and side holster. Again, it is another repack, but given the fact that you have such a cool card back with this particular figure, I think it is well worth the purchase, guys. Very, very cool looking figure right here. Next up is our Lando Calrissian figure from Empire Strikes Back with the card back depicting Lando on Cloud City. Very cool figure. Again, it is a repack. However, it looks like the face sculpt has been upgraded just a bit. The Lando Jabba guard figure that we got earlier this year came with a much better head sculpt than the original release of this particular figure, so it looks like they went back to the drawing board to make this particular head sculpt just a little bit better and closer to Billy D. Williams. Very cool. And then last but never to be least is our Luke Skywalker Bespin figure with the card back depicting the character on Cloud City. Very cool card back here, and awesome release of this particular figure. Comes complete with his side weapon and lightsaber, and a really cool head sculpt on this particular figure. I think much better than obviously the original release and the archive release as well. Moving on to the vintage collection, here we have our Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight with the Return of the Jedi card back depicting Luke in Jabba's palace. Really cool figure. Obviously this is a repack. We actually got this in a 3-pack vintage collection, and now we're getting it here in the single pack collection. Very awesome looking figure here, guys. Complete with his saber and side weapon. Very, very cool figure. Also coming from the vintage collection will be Boba Fett's Slave One vehicle. Now, I'm especially excited for this particular vehicle, not because I already have this particular vehicle in my collection, But from the vintage collection, you know we are going to get some really good detail and weathering on this vehicle that we have not seen in previous releases. So I'm especially excited for this particular vehicle. Now it does come complete with your Han and Carbonite as well, so that is also a very cool addition for this particular vehicle. Very excited for this one. Also coming from the vintage collection is going to be your power droid. Now your power droid is very similar to your Gronk droid here, but there are some subtle differences, as you can see on the top of the droid there, and then some of the weathering and decals on the droid. And then there is a special feature with this particular droid where the top actually comes off to reveal some of the other features underneath. So a really cool droid. Don't know much about this droid and not sure if I've ever actually seen it or recognized it in any of the Star Wars media. And for my bucket heads out there, you can't leave out Boba Fett's helmet here. Really cool, very nice detail and weathering on this. I'm not sure if I'm going to be picking this up, but if you are a collector of helmets, this is a must-have.
And then for my Saber heads, we have Kit Fisto's Saber right here, which is currently up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse. And then we also have Asajj Ventress's Saber right here, which again is also up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse. And then here we have Darth Revan's Saber. Really cool, comes in the Sith red as well as the amethyst color as well. And then it also seems to have this yellow tip on the amethyst as well. Very cool handle with the holder as well. This is a very, very awesome blade and was revealed today at New York Toy Fair. So really, really awesome. And it also comes with its own Kyber crystal, which is absolutely awesome. Very cool and awesome Saber Darth Revan. Next up is our Galaxy of Adventure figures, specifically Ahsoka, which is really cool. Now, obviously, these are kind of photo composites, not the actual figures, but these are upcoming figures for the line. I believe these are 5-inch scale figures. I'm not currently collecting these particular figures, but looking at the troopers specifically, really awesome looking, and I just might pick up a couple of these guys as well as the Ahsoka, depending on how the figures actually look. But I'm not really too interested in the 5-inch line, especially the Galaxy of Adventure figures, but this guy looks really cool. Next up is the Mission Fleet line of figures and vehicles. Very interesting look to these particular figures and vehicles. Reminds me a lot of the Galactic Heroes line, but they have a great assortment of vehicles. As you can see, we have Luke and his X-Wing fighter here that comes with a blaster that shoots projectiles. Really cool looking vehicle actually for this line. Not really sure if I'm going to be collecting this particular line because the ships and figures are a little bit cartoonish in my opinion, but I think it is really, really cool that they are giving you these vehicles along with the figures. So I think for the kids, this is a really cool line, especially if you want to get your children started in collecting. And then of course here you have your Anakin with his Jedi fighter from the prequels. So really great job with the fighters specifically. It looks really, really good. It doesn't even have that cartoonish look that the X-Wing has there, but really cool line. And again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be collecting this line, but I will be interested to see what it looks like on the shelf once they actually do hit the shelf. And then of course you have Anakin here with the blaster, which is stands free as well. And then, of course, getting you a closer look at the Jedi fighter. Your blasters are interchangeable. You can connect the blasters to either wing of the fighter there. You have R2 sitting there as well. And then the opening canopy. And again, there is your blaster for the vehicle. So that is really, really cool. And then, as I had mentioned, the blaster is interchangeable between the vehicles. So you can put one on Vader's TIE, which is another vehicle that is available. And then this is very interesting right here. You have Rex with the walker right here. Don't quite know the name of this particular walker, unfortunately, guys, but really cool line here that comes with a lot of accessories, and the figures look really cool as well, even though they have that cartoonish look of the big feet and whatnot. But I still think it's a pretty decent looking line. And again, I would really like to get a good look at this line once it hits the shelves. And then here, obviously, we have Clone Commander Obi-Wan Kenobi, and his speeder actually has two different versions of the speeder right here. As you will see, you have Obi-Wan with his saber. And again, you have the two different speeders. He can ride both. You have the smaller version here. As you can see, Obi-Wan riding that smaller version of the speeder there. And then, of course, you have the larger version of the speeder as well. So this is a really cool vehicle set with your Clone Commander Obi-Wan. Also comes with the gun and shooting projectile as well. So this is a really awesome looking line. Again, probably not something that I would be particularly interested in, but if you're trying to get your kids started in collecting and Star Wars, I think this is a very good line to get started with your kids. And then here we have the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda with speeder bike and little Baby Yoda's floating crib. This is really, really awesome. And this is what actually caught my eye with this particular line, because I am such a big fan of the Mandalorian so far. Just absolutely awesome. And I think this is a really cool set for any fan across the board. So this particular item I may be picking up just to have it sitting on my shelf, because it is so cool. You have the speeder bike there, which connects to the Baby Yoda crib there, and you can have your Mandalorian fighting off the remnants of the Empire with Baby Yoda in tow. This is an absolutely awesome looking set, and probably one of the sets that I may be picking up out of this particular line of figures, simply because it is Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. So a really cool set here, guys, and a very interesting line of figures. Again, I think it's really cool, especially if you're thinking of getting your kids into collecting and Star Wars. Here we have a clone trooper with Jetpack. Again, a very interesting looking figure, and it's really cool that we're getting more clone figures, even if it is in the 5-inch scale line. The Jetpack looks absolutely awesome with the Republic symbol on each wing there, and then you have your shooting projectiles there at the top of the Jetpack. So really cool figure. And then here we have Boba Fett, also with a Jetpack. Seems to be formed similarly to his Slave One vehicle. Very cool looking figure. Again, not quite my cup of tea, but I think this is awesome for the kids to get into here. Very, very cool looking figure. And then here we have Chewbacca with his Kashyyyk flying contraption. Don't quite know the name of this particular vehicle, but it does have that Kashyyyk look from Chewbacca's home world. So as you can see, he has a place for his bowcaster there in the front. and a really cool flying looking vehicle there. Very, very awesome. Here we have Darth Vader with his TIE Advance. The vehicle comes with a gun with shooting projectiles. Vader comes equipped with his lightsaber as well. The gun does connect to the vehicle itself. So again, really cool line of vehicles and figures. Very, very awesome. Then there is also the vehicle that comes with your Ahsoka Tano figure that is also available. Very cool, has shooting projectiles as well. So you're getting a very cool line of figures. Not particularly my cup of tea, but I think it's great for the kids. Also, cannot forget about the animatronics Baby Yoda. This is a very cool item right here, and can't wait to get my hands on this as well. So guys, let me know what is your most anticipated reveal from New York Toy Fair this weekend. Are you excited for the 6-inch carded 40th anniversary Empire Strike Back figures? Are you going to be picking these figures up? I know there are quite a few repacks in this particular set, but just to have these guys on the card in the 6-inch scale, I think is absolutely cool. And then of course, we are also getting our 6-inch probe droid. I think this is the absolute star from the 6-inch Black Series line. That is absolutely awesome. And then of course, we're also going to be getting Slave 1 as well, with great detail, as well as the Snowspeeder with Dak. And we also can look forward to Revan's blade as well. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Who is your most anticipated figure or vehicle? What are you most excited for? Put those comments down below. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Obi-Wan Force Ghost, may the Force be with you always.